Good morning, and I hope you've been well, and this is part 145 of the Pokemon Rejuvenation V13.5 Let's Play. Set mode, no items, so yeah. So with that being said and done, I guess we'll go on ahead and continue on and unlock the door right here. Now, I do want to give a fair warning. This episode is probably going to have quite a few lengthy spoiler rants, so yeah, just a little heads up there for some people that may or may not be a fan of that kind of stuff. Anyways, your game of hide and seek is over. We won, you lost. Now, if you would be so kind and hand over that key, gladly. After all, those were the conditions. Good, we'll be on our way now, but I'm sure we'll see you again momentarily. Just one moment. What is it now? It's just that I can't help but be curious about a certain individual. Kanon, was it? Huh. What do you require of me? I've been watching you. Unsurprising, I know, but I can't help but be completely enamored by you. I haven't seen a servant so confused since Bonita was born into this world. Confused? What do you mean? Seeing a servant conflict themselves over their purpose is absolutely ghastly. Perhaps you'd like to know. I could find out for you. What? Kanon, just ignore this witch. Don't get sidetracked. Lady Angie thinks highly of me. She's shown me how to use cold truth. Do you want to know why it's called cold truth? Upon being hit by it, you see a truth you've been repressing or curious about. This truth is brought to the surface without your input. Absolutely not. Don't even think of trying it. Don't you want to know? It's eating you up on the inside, isn't it? No, that won't be too bad. Endure your cold truth. Kanon. Let's just see what's hiding deep within your mind. I shall uncover that truth you've worked so hard to mask. Let us create new life out of the power of your true God, our true God, sorry. A fine suggestion. Let us create them out of both of our hearts. Yes, Vitus, together we shall create a being that will be one with us. Yes, Nimra, this being will be filled with love and will be loved. That is what our Creator would have wanted for all of us. Very well then, let's begin. His aura has taken shape. It won't be long until he's finally here. Let us put our heart and soul into him. It will be perfect. He's beautiful. Welcome, my wonderful friend. You are now here to serve us. You shall be named... Wait one moment, Vitus. Would it not be appropriate for him to choose his own name? A bit unprecedented, don't you think? Naming it would be far more... Nonsense. Please, friend, what is the name that speaks to you? I think I like the name... Kanon. Is that fine? Marvelous. Your name from now on will be Kanon. Kanon, I'm going to be away for a little while. I shall be visiting Princess Kasumi. I would like you to stay here and assist Vitus. I understand. I'll work to the best of my own ability. Master Vitus, now that Nimra is on her trip, I wanted to plan something. Speak. What is it you want from me, servant? I believe a festival to celebrate our prosperous year should be in order. Although it's short notice, I think it will be fun in the long... Fun? What does a servant know about fun? It is not your duty to experience something reserved for humans only. Nimra may have given you the idea that this is acceptable. Sir, But there is a way a servant shall behave, and I'll make sure these lessons stick with you for life. What the? Where did I end up now? I'm so sick of these games. If this is the sort of stuff that happens to Alon and others, then I understand why everyone is so disturbed. And now I've got to look for Kanon. Fantastic. This is all just amazing. Can I not do one thing without being sent to some alternate dimension? Cool it, Erin. Eyes on the prize. Get Kanon and get out of wherever this is. You've done it once, you could do it again. Right, let's do this. Now real quick, I want to look. See, that to me is interesting. That we're within Zeit. I don't know, I find that really intriguing, very interesting. And I guess I want to go on a small, well, I don't know if there's really like a lot to spoil, but I guess technically, yeah. Let me do like a slight spoiler rant on the whole Kanon event thing. So if you don't want to listen, that's fine. Go to the comment section below. So, yeah. Okay, we are in spoiler territory. If you don't want to listen one final time, comment section below. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any super heavy spoilers. There may or may not be, but I do want to at least like go over all of this real quick. But anyways, you get to the scene here, and I guess we're within Zeit. So how that is, I have no clue. But regardless, we're within Zeit apparently, and we're learning about the truth of Kanon. Like I brought up on the last episode with her, sorry, not her, him and Erin, and honestly a lot of the others within the group, you know, they feel somewhat awkward around him. Not because of anything, well, no, yeah, technically yes, it is because of what Kanon has done. More so the whole, you know, thing that Erin, you know, blasted him about. Like, you sit here and say, I'm a servant, I'm less than you all, and it's really weird, it's really awkward. Yeah, of course people are gonna distance themselves. Like, you're not Kanon anymore. Like, you're not the Kanon that everybody knew. Now you're acting like, you know, this lesser being. And I can tell within your mind, body, and soul, you're conflicted about it because you don't want to feel this way. But for some reason, you're holding on tight to that whole thing about being a servant, being less than others, and yada yada yada. So, yeah, of course, people are not going to be, you know, comfortable around somebody that, again, is going to like act that kind of way. And you kind of wonder in a sense why. This answers that. So let me just go through this real quick. So as you kind of like see here, the two of them are together. I assume this is, you know, of course, before the Great Pokemon War. And, you know, the kingdoms were doing their own thing. They, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot if they were like married or not, but they were pretty much like together, if I'm not mistaken, life and death, you know. And then at some point, something changed. So, yeah. So pretty much creating Kanon here. Clearly Nimra wants him to be his own person, but of course still do his duties. Vitus, on the other hand, is more strictly, you're just a servant. That's it. You're not allowed to have fun. You can't feel the emotions of fun. You're just a servant. That's it. So, yeah, they create him here. He's beautiful. And that's the thing too, because like Nimra instilled into him, like, you're not just like this, you know, slave, as a few, you know, people around the game have like called Kanon in a sense, you know, like you are your own person. Like I expect you to still like do your thing, right? Like obey me and yada yada, but you can have hobbies, you can have emotions. Like even like Angie, you know, within that one scene was like, you know, Kanon, like if you're bored, like you can go around the garden, you could do whatever around the manor. You don't have to keep like twiddling your thumbs in here. And he's like, oh, no. If you don't want me here. And she's like, no, I'm not saying I don't want you here, but you're clearly bored. What are you talking about? I can't be bored. Kanon, you're bored. You're not accepting it, you know? Like clearly like he is, but because of his servant stuff and whatnot, he's like, no, I can't comprehend that. And like these emotions like conflict within him. And again, the scene kind of like answers that, but let me go to the one that kind of gets more into it. It's mainly the one with Vitus that I want to get into. Now, I will say, with her also saying Princess Kasumi as well, This definitely like shows that this definitely was before the Great Pokemon Wars, so yeah. But here, he mentions a festival and having fun, and Vitus is like, you're not gonna have fun. You're a servant. You're not meant to have that kind of feeling. But I think this line right here, it is not your duty to experience something reserved for humans only. And again, I go back to the last episode where I went on my really dumb spoiler rant where I kept going in circles. It's something that interests me. I still don't understand the mind of Vitus. I still don't quite understand it in a sense. Like, he enjoys having fun with people, like manipulating, teasing, hurting, yada yada yada, whatever you want to call or word it. But yet here he's like, for humans, it's reserved for them. They get to have the fun. You? No. And I don't know if he feels the same way about Pokemon, because again, he definitely has some sort of anger, some sort of resentment, I would assume at that time, with God. So maybe that's kind of why he is the way that he is. But still, along the line, it seems like he wants to destroy everything, not just, people, but Pokemon too. But again, at one point, he brought it before, only reserved for humans. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, at some point, he liked people. Probably not so Pokemon because of the whole Pokemon War thing that Nimmer described. Because again, he felt that we were lesser beings. But as time moved on, maybe something changed. I don't know. I don't know. I'll not get into that here because I already did that on the last episode. But this pretty much explains why, Kanon is the way that he is. Because he brought it up before. I'm here to teach you some lessons. You're not meant to feel emotions. You're not meant to be this way. And I just feel like it's something that's really intriguing and interesting. So, yeah, but going to the whole Zeit thing, I just wonder... I didn't mean to do that, sorry. I just wonder how, like, that works and all of that. Because you see the Interceptor. We enter Zeit, right? Within, the desert area. We input our, I don't know, info or hand on the thing, whatever we do pretty much, and we're in. So it kind of makes you wonder, how do they have this sort of connection to Zeit? How does this cold truth make them enter this realm, this dimension, however you want to call or word it? Is it because of the archetype? I don't think so. Well, I do think so, but I don't think so. Like, I think because, like, the archetype, like, that's how the story has to go. But, like, the archetype gives you access to Zeit? I don't know. Because, like, the Interceptor has to give you access to this area, right? Because that's what, V13 was all about. V13.5, sorry, was, like, all about. Giving Malia access to Zeit. So how does, like, a cold truth from Angie do that? Sorry, Sierra. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I can think about that how and why all night long, and I won't truly find out the answer to that. Maybe one day it'll get answered, but it is something that I like to point out and talk about because it is something that's really intriguing to me at the very least. We'll stop with the rants there. Okay, so we should be out of spoiler territory now. Enough of my dumb rant as usual. Anyways, I only walked up here, by the way. Apologies for that. Nothing else like happened, so yeah. Of course. Well, look who's prancing around where she shouldn't. Trust me, if I had a say in where I ended up, I would not be here. How about next time before you blast someone into another dimension, adjust your aim? It can't be hard to hit a target that literally was not moving in any way, shape, or form, but I suppose a task like that is just too much for someone so simple-minded. Anyway, I'll have you know that my cold truth aim was true. You weren't hit, but somehow, here we are. An unfortunate event for you, my dear, for cold truth shows all to those who wander. So, okay, that's like interesting then, because I won't do like the spoiler rant, but I talked about it during that, you know, well, let me word my words carefully. She pretty much admitted right then and there that, yeah, I only aim for Kanon, but somehow you ended up here too. Whatever, it's just how it works is what she's like saying, so just something kind of interesting to point out. Excuse me there. Perhaps a secret even unbeknownst, to you shall be revealed. I anticipate what that may be. Let me save in here. Please move aside. Fine. Get out of my way. Are you stupid? Did you not hear what I said? Get out of my way or I'll make you. I believe that will be impossible. I cannot move even if I choose to do so. I don't even know if I'm real. Perhaps I'm some sort of obstacle. There's no perhaps about it, are you? Sorry, you are an annoying one at that. Fine, I'll let you stand there like the statue you are. I'll find another way around, I'm sure. Oh, where am I now? Am I somewhere different? No, I'm in the same place. The area has just changed a bit. Sierra said that the truths shown in this place either shows something suppressed or a truth that's related and or associated with you. So this place will show me something. Huh. Who are you? What the? The Night Witch. What does this place have to do with me? Oh, a visitor. That's rare. I wonder who it is. Welcome to the humble abode of the Night Witch. How can I assist you today? Shada, it's me. Oh, it's an old friend who says she'd never come back here. Yet here she is again. Nice to see you, Anitha. What can I do for an old friend today? The spell I came here for last time. It worked. Of course it did. When would I ever let you down? I want someone to save me. I want someone to finally love me. Excuse me there, sorry. That was what you said last time, yes? Yes, and it worked too well. I found someone who loved me at first, but he's grown into a terrible and bitter man. Vitus was so kind to me when we first met. He took me to places, he told me how much he loved me, and then Vitus got into contact with that Gardevoir, and things started to change. Take my advice, he's not worth it. Leave him. And any man who doesn't respect you doesn't deserve you, darling, and that's that. It's not that simple. Well, I'm not here to be your therapist, so I won't convince you. What do you need me to get done? I need a spell that will get him to love me again, to treat me how he used to, back when we first dated. I know I said I wasn't your therapist, but I believe my curiosity says otherwise. Tell me, Anitha, why can't you leave this Vitus man? He's a good man. I know he is. He's just been corrupted. Being a good man isn't enough. He needs to be there for you. I can't leave him because I'm too deep in debt. After we've married, he's taken 75% of my father's wealth. If I try to leave, he might take the marble mansion. I refuse to live in poverty again. May I suggest something to you, Anitha? Instead of going through with this love spell, perhaps I could do something a tad more sinister. I can kill him for you. Kill him? With him dead, you could reclaim your fortune and live a peaceful life. All your troubles can be erased with one spell. Just say the word yes, and I'll have it be done. No, I'm not going to have anyone be killed. Shada, this is why I didn't want to come here. You always go back to violence. I just want to be able to to live a happy life with my family. That's it. So robbing him of free will and forcing him to love you isn't wrong either. Dearie, everything you've done to get Vitus is because of the power of the dark arts. Desperation is an illness, and you succumb to it. Not that I'm judging you for that. Of course, this is why you're here, right? If false love is what you want, I can make it happen, but it comes with a price. The spell brings in the saying, till death do us apart, a little more literally. Vitus will love you with all of his heart, but if you were to die, the spell would break. I understand. Please do it, Shada. Very well. I shall do it for my old friend Anatha. My head. That woman in the cloak. Anatha. Her voice was so familiar. Why do I feel like I want to break down? I'm never like this. I can't let this place break me. If I fall here, fall here, well, all will be lost to it. Now, I definitely want to do a spoiler right on that scene, so, yeah, if you don't want to listen, that's fine. Spoiler heads ahead. Yeah. Alright. One final warning. Most likely very heavy spoilers ahead, so yeah, comment section below. Okay, so it's interesting that Zeit is able to, somehow get within your memories. And here's the cool thing. This is a memory that, Erin never even witnessed firsthand. I don't think she was even born at this time. She might have been. Well, actually, no, right. She wasn't born, because look at the hair. Black hair. Look at the time that we entered the scene. She had golden blonde hair. How? The archetype. Remember that the Great Pokemon War happened. AZ hit the nuke button pretty much. The final weapon was, blasted, and that was that. The archetype had to go somewhere. I believe that the archetype ended up in Vitus's possession. Plain and simply. Go to future scenes within the game where it talks about, I believe it was Alexandra that talked to him about it, like somehow either somebody wished you with the archetype, or somebody, used the archetype to give birth to you for. And while it's not impossible for it to be a wish thing, I would safely assume that, plain and simply, they were born, right? But I go to Malia, because again, that's the oddball. Because you would have had Maria, Arena, Alan, Alice, not Malia. What if there was like a weird situation that those four were born? Right? And let's say Marionette was about to be sacrificed and whatnot. What if... Let's switch up my one theory a little bit. What if there was a thing that somehow they wished for Malia to be a thing? Somebody did that. That would be kind of interesting. Regardless, I'm jumping the gun here on a whole different thing. So, you see the scene with, I'll skip some text a little bit. You see, again, Anatha within the cloak here. You kind of follow her into this home. So you have like a visitor here. Welcome to my humble abode. And then you see Anatha reveal herself there with the black or dark gray hair. I would assume pretty much black hair, pretty much. Because I think actually within Hiyoshi City, if I'm not mistaken, you see the one book thing, like a 5'6" woman, black hair, some like keyhole shaped thing on the back of her neck, something of the sort, and yeah. So even during that time within Hiyoshi, whatchamacallit. Even then, see, but, well, no, I guess to be fair, those records were probably old, so, yeah, but, I was gonna say, like, but that's interesting, like, the whole Hiyoshi thing went down, does she not give birth to them at that point? But, no, I assume the records were old at the time, probably, so, yeah, anyways, yeah, you see at this point, this is before her, having her children. So you go through this whole thing here. Now, what's interesting is Shada, however you pronounce her name, how she's able to do like these spells and whatnot. So, yeah, how that is, it doesn't really matter. You know that you've seen like some people that are capable of doing like really like wacky things because like Garuf and stuff. It's possible that she may have some, maybe like a lineage towards the Garufins and she's able to make these kind of like spells. Maybe it's just something entirely different. I don't know. But anyways, apparently at some point these two were friends and Anatha is desperate. She wants somebody to, you know, help her with the situation and she turned to her and she wants Vitus to love her again. So let me kind of skip through this a little bit. Got in contact with that Gardevoir. Take my advice. He's not worth it. Leave him. It's not that simple. I need a spell again. Right, here we go. So, again, go back to what happened in Narcissa. She got played hard, And same thing with Anatha. Vitus being Vitus, probably, charming and yada yada. Like, oh, I'll give you the world, the moon, I love you, and all these kind of stuff, And when they get married, that's when it takes a turn for the worse. Because Vitus is like, okay, cool. Now think about it. The Great Pokemon War, he has to adjust to civilization. Because again, like, go back to what Gira said. Like, aren't you, like, powerful? Just blow up the, this thing off the map. Like, who cares? And Vitus is like, no. No, 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 no. That would ruin everything. I'm not going to sit here and do this stupid stuff. No. We need to be careful and cautious about this. Now, why that is, I don't know. Could it be a thing that is just within his code that, Varian instilled into him, that he can't just go up just blowing up stuff and whatnot just because he wants to? That's very possible because, again, predetermined timeline, can't do it because of that. But in his mind, he's like, no, I gotta be careful, I gotta be cautious. Blowing it up would make things far more complicated. So, yeah, other than that, with the whole variety thing, I don't know. Because you would think with a guy that I cannot speak today, that is that powerful, right? You would think that he would be able to do that. Which honestly tells me he probably could, but I do believe to some level, potentially, he is not the same man that he once was. Power-wise. Go to the battle with Nimra. Go to the battle with Marionette within chapter 3. Go into, even, like, I'm jumping ahead of the scene, where Erin went into battle with him. Injured 1. I would assume injured 1 against Marionette, 1 against Nimra. He's powerful, he's wise, he's all these kind of things, But I believe going through all of that, this and that, I think he's slowly depleting. And that's why within that underwater area where you see the book and the cocoon of Yveltal, that model, where somebody wrote there, I believe it to be Madame X, but if she didn't write it, somebody did, and wrote, like, that Yveltal, the cocoon thing, when he reverts that, it's a failsafe. If all else fails, he does that one thing, he sucks the life force out of everything around him. He did it within, whatchamacallit, Hiyoshi City. That's why it's a desert and no longer this lush, grasslands. Because the grass, the Pokemon, the people, the life force was sucked on out of it. Right? So I believe the some level, that he's still trying to regain some of that. And during those times there, he was like, yeah, no, I probably could, but it's not wise. I can't make myself too weak. I can't thin myself out too much. Because again, a little bit of him is within Gira. A little bit of him is within Angie. A little bit of him is within potentially Hazuki. And all these other things. We even like a theory that I have with like Madame X, maybe a part of him is within her. And that's why she's always just, so just like evil and just mad and angry and all these kind of things. He spread himself to different things because if something fails, he has something that he can leech onto and probably somehow gain full control and then still be within the picture. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it's just something that's interesting. I went on a rant about something else entirely. So you see the thing with the wealth. It's not too, easy for Anitha to be like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to break up with him. Bye-bye. No, she's locked in. He owns that amount of money, that amount of, percentage within, their father's company or whatever. And she explained it. I like my mansion. I don't want to live in poverty again. I don't want to be poor again. I'm not going back to that life. And Shada's like, this is sad. But whatever. I'll do it for you. So we'll go through that. Right, so then she suggests the idea of killing him. Now, do I think that would have worked? Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm almost 50-50, but no, I would assume more no than yes, but to be fair, the love potion worked. Which is something that's interesting. A guy as powerful as RC is wrong, dude. A guy as powerful as Indrid, Vitus, to be falling for a spell like that, I think in some way, shape, and form kind of tells me he's not at 100% like he used to be. But maybe, Shada has, the good stuff. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems interesting that a spell like that was able to do that, though. It just... And again, like, I know it's not super important, but they are things to me that I just want to put on the table and just point out, But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that Shada here, or Shada, tomato, could really do it. I just don't think so. I really don't. But again, I don't know. But again, she's able to do it with the love spell, but I don't know if she can actually kill something that literally is death itself. I don't think it would really work out. So, here's the scene there. She's calling him out like, okay, so you won't do that, but for some reason you think it's right to, manipulate him and make this false man, And then she brings it to death do us apart. See, and that answers the one chapter where you and Venom go into the Marble Mansion, hang out with Anitha and all of them, and then a few scenes later, Gardevoir is like, hey, yo, police officers, come here. Gold nuggets. Riches beyond your comprehension. Do this for me. I won't even know who you were. Deal? Deal. They pull up to the manor. Anitha walks out. Indrid signals for, Gardevoir to show up. Or whoever, whatever. I think it was Gardevoir, but Anitha pops out. The spell ends. And that's what turns Vitus back to being his, cult leader self. This scene here is what, kind of like foreshadows those kind of events. Which is really cool. Really, really cool. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something to Indra and Vitus that I don't quite understand per se. I don't know. I don't know. And I feel like I'm talking about a bunch of nonsense, but I feel like I'm not at the same time. We'll leave the spoiler rant at that though. Okay, so we are out of spoiler territory, and sorry, just kind of writing this down. Okay, I believe we already read that. Okay, so this way we go. Let me save here. Arena, please come here for a moment. Arena? Mother. How are you doing, my child? You look unwell during supper. Mother, why did you marry father? Where did this question come from? It's just that I've noticed the way you look at him, as if you're scared or rather paranoid. There are some things I do in this world because I'm protecting all of you. You, Maria, Alice, and Alan. You're all my light. And if someone tries to snuff out that light, I'll snuff out theirs. Please continue to keep tabs on your father for me. Will do. Arena, I'm sorry I put this all on you. This man, why? Why do I feel so much terror when I look at him? Vitus, what has gotten into you? We've planned this ceremony for years, and now you're changing your mind? I love Anatha. I don't want to harm her. Are you insane? The entire reason why you married her was to gain this estate and find Meloetta. Meloetta's song was the only way to open the way to the archetype. You've carried out that plan, and now it's time to wrap things up. It's been 7 years, Vitus. Where is the archetype? I couldn't have children with Anatha. What? Due to my nature, I am unable to reproduce. Therefore, I've used the archetype to wish for children. No. Gardevoir. The archetype collapsed when I wish for them. It's no more. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So your children are... They're pieces of the archetype reborn, yes. Vitus, we have to do something. If the children remember what they are, they'll reform back into the archetype, and with that energy of all 4 of their souls, Arceus will... Certainly that won't happen. We must... Yes, come in. Father. What is it, Eri? Mother's still asking me to watch you. So it is as suspected, Anatha must have done something to you. This can be the only reason why she's asking young Arena to watch you. Impossible. I refuse to believe something like that. Suit yourself. Believe in your false truths. I'll be waiting for you below when you finally wake up from this nightmare. Are you and Mother fighting? I don't understand. You're both asking me to spy on each other, and I cannot continue this any longer. Why must I do this? You two are adults. Oh, Eri, it's because you're the one I trust the most. My eldest daughter. My most intelligent and hard-working child. I understand. Arena, I'm sorry that it must be you. I know. I can't take it anymore. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have put this burden on her. Mother uses me as a tool. Father uses me as a tool. The guilt I feel, I refuse to let you two drag me any further. She's awakened, Vitus. Eri, please. Vitus Theolia, I remember who I am. Gardevoir, please escort Anatha back to her room, and when you come back, gather two other of the children. Vitus? Forgive me, Eri. You've gone too far. So that's kind of interesting. Oh, okay, so this scene is different then. Okay. But the two flashback scenes, I guess they never really changed it then to like the new look, but this one here is okay. I see. I kind of got like confused, like, wait, what's going on? Like, that's the old like underground sanctuary area, but I see. Anyways, Father, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Do it, Gardevoir. Unfortunately, you've remembered too much. I cannot allow you to stay in this realm anymore, Eri. Don't call me Eri. This is your fate, Arena. Please accept it with dignity. And what about Mother, huh? How are you going to explain this? Anatha won't remember anything to do with you three. I've made sure of that. Maria, what are you going to do with her? She will be safe. Maria is no longer a threat alone. Maria, please, no matter what happens, don't you dare lose hope. Don't lose who you are, and don't you dare forget about what's to happen. Do you understand? Don't lose hope. Maria. Oh, please. Father. No. Vitus. I heard everything you said that day. I'm a piece of this archetype. You're not my father. Not by blood. I promise you this. Wherever you're sending me, you can't just throw me away. I won't allow that. I'll come back and save my brother and my sisters, and Vitus, I will have your head. I promise you that. Gardevoir? Even if it takes decades, centuries, I'll make sure your plans crumble to dust. I look forward to that day. Justice isn't real. What a heartfelt but meaningless speech. Those were her last words to me. As a father, it saddens me, but her destiny is to stay put within the unknown dimension. So you've chosen Alice to be the administrator. Correct. She'll be the one who controls this world and how the other two operate. Aries' energy was preemptive. She won't be able to do anything with Alice in control of everything. Alice, darling, this is something I can only trust with you. This is a job that's important for everyone. Keep things under control while you're in here. Everything's a game. This is your world now. Nothing you see is a reality. Yes, Father. Yes, I remember who I am now. Everything. I was the little girl whose parents put too much on her, the little girl who broke because of it, and the little girl who in the end was reborn. He tried to shackle me, but I cannot be contained. So, do I want to do a spoiler rant? I guess let me go through this first and then I'll get into that. If Vitus himself proclaims to be God, then I proclaim myself to be the devil, a monster that fights against God itself. I take upon that role. I promised long ago that I would protect my brother and sisters, and that promise will not go unkept. Sorry. I can't believe it's taking me this long to remember. I don't think I would ever have it if it weren't for Sierra. This is the truth that's been hiding deep within my heart. My uncertainty, my lack of placement in this world, it's all making sense to me. My role, my duty to this world is to stop Vitus Theolia from destroying it, and I sense him. He's somewhere out there, and as long as he is, peace for everyone is impossible. I will be the demon that brings forth new opportunity. First, I need to get Kanon and break this world from its seams. I can't do anything if I'm stuck within the void for all of this. I read that wrong. Within this void for all eternity. Okay, so heavy spoiler rant, so yeah, if you don't want to listen, that's fine. Comment section below. Yeah. Alright. Sorry for the pause there. Back now, had to go do some things, but right, we are in spoiler territory again. Heavy spoilers with this one, so you've been warned. Comment section below. Okay, so you see the scene with Arena and Anitha. This is clearly after she had, you know, her kids by using the archetype because of the gold hair, as you could see. So you see that Arena was mainly used by Anitha and Vitus, but let's keep it simple. Let's talk about Anitha. It's honestly kind of sad because Arena is a very intelligent child, right? And she formulates at such a young age in her mind. She's like, "Well, Mom, why'd you marry him?" You know, with this scene right here, because like she questions like, "Are you doing okay? You didn't look too well. Like, what's going on?" And then she hits her with the cold water, and she explains, "I seen how you look at him. You don't seem like, again, like right there, like you seem scared or paranoid." And of course, because of that, she's probably paranoid because is the spell working? I want to make sure that that's cool and all, that he's not doing his weird cult stuff. Now, of course, you know and learn by the chapter that we, oh, what was it again? The chapter, I don't remember the number, but the one with you, sorry, me, you, whoever you are playing as like the pro tag, meet up with Venom, and you see this underground cult room area. So you learn that despite his promise to Anitha, he's still doing it. However, he's not as, I guess, mean. Like, he's still loving towards Anitha. Now, whether that is him, like, being like, "Oh, it's a weird potion thing. Let me just play along with it and make her think that I'm this way," I don't really know. I would assume the spell is working. However, his cult stuff is definitely still full swing ahead, you know? But yeah, anyways, there's some things I do in this world because I'm protecting all of you. You, Maria, Alice, and Alan, you're all my light. And it's kind of like a funny thing where she says light, you know, Arceus archetype light. I don't know if she really intended that or not, but it's a cool little like play right there. And if anyone tries to snuff out that light, I'll snuff it out. Please continue to keep tabs on your father for me. Will do. And again, it's kind of sad to see this kind of thing, because like even like Anitha's like, "I'm sorry to do this to you," right? But to put that all on a child, that's gotta weigh heavy on their mind. We go to this scene. This man. Why do I feel so much terror when I look at him? Vitus, what has gotten into you? So Gardevoir is like, "We planned this ceremony for years and now you're changing your mind." I would assume it's probably the ceremony of, I don't know, blowing up everything for the love of, or for my love for Arceus and yada yada yada. So maybe something of the sort, I don't really know, but clearly they had something planned. "I love Anitha, I don't want to harm her." "Are you insane? The entire reason why you married her was to gain this estate and find Meloetta. Meloetta's song was the only way to open the way to the archetype." So okay, I think I get that. So what they're saying is like, we married Anitha, their family lineage or whatever was connected to Meloetta. We did that, did the song thing, got the archetype. But that's the odd thing. Like, if that's what it's saying, and I might have misread that, but if that's what that's saying, that the song was the way to find the archetype, then what, after the Great Pokemon War, did it just get like lost to time or something? And then Vitus just found it? Because I always thought he would have had it in his possession, so I guess not. Well, to be fair, if he had it so early on, then he would have done whatever he wanted with it. Or maybe he did have it, the song like opens it and then he has like full access to it. I don't really know. I almost want to reread that again actually. Okay, so she went on about the ceremony. I love Anatha. The entire reason why you married her was to gain the estate and find Meloetta. Meloetta's song was the only way to open the way to the archetype. It's the only way to open the way. You've carried out that plan, and now it's time to wrap things up. Okay, yeah, so I guess at some point, the archetype somehow, in one way, shape, and form, got locked away. So, let's say the Great Pokemon War happened, the final weapon happened. What if... No, then I'm wrong. Nimra still had it. Afterwards, battle happened, Nimra lost, Vitus found some area where it's at, he can't open the door, finds Anatha, connected to Meloetta, they find Meloetta then, do the song, get the archetype, and now here we are. Okay, I see it now. It's been 7 years, Vitus, where is the archetype? I couldn't have children, due to my nature I'm unable to reproduce, because again, death, Yveltal, he's not able to, you know, do that kind of thing. Therefore, I used the archetype to wish for children. No. Gardevoir, the archetype collapsed when I wish for them. It's no more. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, it was technically, yes, a wish that happened. The archetype agreed to it, and then it broke. Because, again, it split within the 4 kids, pretty much. It's no more. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So, your children are... They're pieces of the archetype reborn. Yes. We have to do something. And then Gardevoir has a fair point. Like, if they somehow remember what you did, then that's not good. Because, you know, Vitus may be powerful, but I don't know how he would do in a 1v1 against, you know, God itself. You know. Go back to, you know, old Earth. It took like, what, 7 billion casualties or whatever it was? So, I mean... Yeah, I don't think Vitus is coming out of that one. Certainly that won't happen, we must. And then Arena comes on in. And yeah, that's something that's really like interesting though. Yeah. Anyways, Arena's continuing to keep tabs on both of them. Still asking me to watch you, so it is as I suspected, Anatha must have done something to you. This can only be the only reason, sorry. Ask her to watch you. I refuse to believe something like that. Suit yourself, believe in your false truths. I'll be waiting for you below when you finally wake up from this nightmare. Are you and Mother fighting? I don't understand. Keep asking me to spy on one another. You two are adults. You're the one that I trust the most. Arena, I'm sorry that it must be you. I know. So we go through that song and dance, and then at some point, Arena's breaking point arrives. And she's mad, she's furious, she doesn't understand why she has to continue doing this, and go back to the one scene under the dive spot area, you know, what is it, the Archetypes Awakening or whatever that book was called, where like it showed different like reactions, like some people, like when they were in contact with the archetype, like things kind of like happen, and some people got like possessed in a sense. This is what's happening here. A possession is happening. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have put this burden on her. Mother uses me as a tool. Father uses me as a tool. The guilt I feel, I refuse to let you two drag me any further. She's awakened, Vitus. Harry, please. Vitus Theolia, I remember who I am. So, right there, Vitus is like, crap. Voice crack there, by the way, sorry. But he's like, crap. Okay. That line right there. I remember who I am. I know who you are. You with that whole Great Pokemon War thing going up against me and all this kind of stuff. You need punishment. And Vitus is like, yeah, you're a threat. You gotta go. Gardevoir, please escort Anatha back to her room, and when you come back, gather 2 of the other children. Vitus? Forgive me, Eri, you've gone too far. So they go into battle. And then, as you can see by the results here, Irina lost. Father, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Do it, Gardevoir. And that's the thing that sucks. So, like, the possession wore off. She's back to being a child. And she's like, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. And Vitus is like, don't care. I'm sorry. But you are too much of a threat. If it happens again around the other kids, I can't have you coming back as Arceus and pulling up. It's too risky. As a father, it saddens me, but you have got to go. And that's what this all is. I've remembered too much. I can't allow you to stay in this room anymore, Eri. Don't call me Eri. This is your fate, Irina. Please accept it with dignity. And that's something that's always interesting with me. Like how he says like Eri. I guess it's like a small kind of like side kind of like name or whatever you want to call her, word it. Kind of similar to like Maria, but him calling her Marionette. So he seems to kind of like do those kind of things. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, or kind of similar in that aspect, but just something to point out there as well. This is your fate, Irina. Please accept it with dignity. And what about Mother, huh? How are you going to explain this? Anatha won't remember anything to do with you 3. I've made sure of that. Maria, what are you going to do to her? She will be safe. Maria is no longer a threat alone. Sorry, I read that wrong, but that's the thing too, because like, Vitus is like, okay, you 3 gotta go. Maria stays, because I don't really know. She's just staying. But you, Alice, and Alan, as long as 3 out of the 4 pieces are gone, that's fine with me. Because even if Maria, because like, go back to chapter 3. The possession happened with Maria. Vitus is like, whatever, crap. And they went into battle. I would assume Maria lost. I would most certainly guess that. Because you go back to whatchamacallit, like a few scenes, go to the scene with like Kato within Where Love Lies. You see this girl encased in that ice thing in that one room area. Go to, you know, even this chapter where you invent, if you decide to let the officer die, you see her within that thing. Now, that would be my thing. I would guess that the battle happened, she lost, and yada yada yada. Now, whether that happened after or before, I don't quite know. But either way, the point is, I don't think within chapter 3 she won that battle. I think to some level she probably injured Indrid enough to weaken him somewhat, but I don't think she won. Now, what happened afterwards? I don't know. I don't know. I've had theories on that, but I won't get into that here. Maybe I will. I don't really know yet. Maria. Now this right here, this is the line that is one of the most intriguing lines in the entire game. If you don't remember, go back to the prologue. Madam X says the exact same lines to Maria before she heads down the stairs, finds Anatha on the altar, and she gets all mad at Indrid. Please, no matter what happens, don't you dare lose hope, don't lose who you are, and don't you dare forget about what's about to happen. Do you understand? Don't lose hope, Maria. Oh, please. Father. No. Vitus. I've heard everything you said that day. I'm a piece of this archetype. You're not my father, not by blood. So, you see there, that she says the exact same lines. And a lot of people go into the idea of it's got to be Erin. Madam X is Erin, an alternate Erin, sorry, not Malia, an alternate Erin. Maybe she's not named Erin, but maybe she's Elena. I don't know, but from that different time, she would have been Erin from this one. Similar to like how Melanie is Malia, but from the Doom timeline. So, here's the deal. My opinion, my take. I don't think Madam X is Erin from a different timeline. I just don't. Am I being stupid? Yeah, probably. And it could be me overthinking it. I just feel that it's too obvious. I don't know what it is. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But here's the deal. Erin technically, yes, she's on my list of candidates for Madam X. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, do I think she's a more likely character? Kinda not. There's other characters that I would put above Erin, honestly. So, yeah, can I have any sort of, like, say to, like, back that up? No, not really, because, like, it just, the entire, like, line there, the entire scene there, like, it makes so much sense for it to be Erin. Like, it fits, right? Like, Madam X is definitely, like, hot-tempered, very calculative. She's very smart, wise, knows what she's doing. Same nature as Erin in some level. But for some reason, I just feel that it's too obvious. I don't know what it is. I really do just feel that way. And I don't remember if there was a comment about this. I remember something of the sort, but I might be wrong. But I thought, like, I got a comment from a longtime viewer talking about, like, I don't know if it's like a Q&A or some sort of like stream thing, but like Jane's saying, like, so far from what he's seen, nobody's like guessed it right on like her identity and why she is, you know, that person. So yeah, now if I'm wrong on that, ignore that claim there. But I thought I remember some sort of comment from the past saying something of the sort. I might be wrong on that, but if that is true, I would definitely safely assume, because like I don't think Jane, I think it's also been said that he doesn't really like read, like go to his way to like read theories and whatnot. But like the Erin one, like that's got to be one of the more popular ones, so it's hard for me to imagine that he hasn't seen something like that. And for if it's true, for him to say like so far nobody's really gotten it right, and how that is. No, he could be lying about it. It could be Erin, it could be Malia, it could be Marionette, Piano Lady. I don't know, you know. But it's just something that I'm like, if that's something that he has said, then it's hard for me to believe that it is Erin. But besides that whole thing, even if he didn't, whether he did or didn't say that, my whole thing is I just think there are more likely candidates in my mind. I just do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. Erin, like the thing is, like I've said before and stated as well, if it turned out to be Erin, it would not surprise me. It makes sense. It fits. I get it. It could be an alternate Malia. It could be Marionette, Maria, Piano Lady, Venom. I don't know. There are so many candidates in my mind that it could be. Again, like something I also brought up, it could be a character that we don't even know anything about. It could be somebody from, you know, like the Mirror region. It could be somebody from, I don't know, like a different time and experience all these kind of painful events, and that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know. But it's fun to play around with that kind of idea and to kind of like talk about these kind of things. I promise you this, wherever you're sending me, you could just throw me away. You can't just throw me away. I won't allow it. I'll come back and save my brother and sisters. Invite us, I'll have your head. I promise you that. Gardevoir. Even if it takes decades, centuries, I'll make sure your plans crumble to dust. I look forward to that day. Justice isn't real. So, he goes through the whole emotions. It's sad, but it has to be this way. And then with Alice doing her own thing here, being, the administrator, that unlocks the, sorry, not unlocks, but it causes the events within, the unknown dimension and whatnot, with her doing all this and that with Alan and Alice, because of the one quest with you, Karen, and Karina. You end up there, it helps them get out. Well, even if you didn't do that, they still would have gotten out with the Puppet Master's help regardless, because of Arena. So, well, no, not because of like Arena. Oh goodness. I know Arena somehow like escaped, and there was like the whole like traitor like gravestones and whatnot. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. I had to go take my dog outside, but I'm trying to remember where. Right, the unknown dimension. So, and I know like this entire time I've been wording my words weird and whatnot. I do like apologize for that. I feel like I could be better, but I'll be honest. Like I'm still like sick, and a lot of stuff has just been going on. So if I seem more stupid, then that's why. But anyways, I don't know. So like they got sent to, like, the unknown dimension. Alice's goal is to keep them there, be happy, yada yada yada. Arena found a way to get on out. The Puppet Master, did their thing, and the other two got on out as well. And yeah. I was a little girl whose parents was put right. So that's Arena, they're talking about that kind of thing. Like they try to like shackle me, contain me, but I'm not one to be contained. I'm not going down without a fight. I will do this for my siblings and my friends and the people that I love and hold dear to my heart. No one can stop me. If Vitus himself proclaims to be God, then I proclaim myself to be the devil, a monster that fights against God itself. I take upon that role. I promised long ago that I would protect my brothers and sisters, and that promise will not go unkept. I can't believe it's taken me this long to remember. I don't think I would have if it weren't for Sierra. Truth deep within my heart. It's all making sense to me now. My role, my duty to the world is to stop Vitus Theolia from destroying it. And I sense him, he's somewhere out there. As long as he is, peace for everyone is impossible. I will be the demon that brings forth new opportunity. First, I need to get Kanon and break the world from its seams. I can't do anything if I'm stuck within this void for all of eternity. So, before I get out of the spoiler rant, I guess like one final like hoorah for the time being is that scene there. Again, many people can connect that to Madam X, and you're right to do so. I've said it countless times that I believe that Madam X has to play the role of the villain, the devil, the demon, whatever you want to call her, word her as, to stop Vitus, to stop this, whole story that, Varai's created, whatnot. Now, whether she's aware of Varai, I don't know, but let's keep it simple. Vitus. Let's go off of that idea. I do believe her goals are more than just Vitus, but I think that's a big component in the goal that she has. But regardless, it fits her nature all too well. Again, I've had theories and ideas that, they're not, like, Team Zen, like Neve, Matalis, all of them, like they all have goals, they all want to do this and that. Whether it's bad, they have to do, I'm wording my words wrong, sorry. They know what they're doing is bad. They understand it. They know that they hurt people. Neve stated it before, it's for my daughter. Matalis, I assume it has something to do with Elizabeth, her sibling or sister or whatever. Cassandra, something happened within the Gear and Fires, that's what I suspect, and she hates, Tesla and Amber for whatever reason, but again, I connect that to the fire. Something happened with all of that for her to hate them. Go back to Zeta. He had goals to meet up and actually have a conversation with Malia. Go to Gira, like all of them, in one way, shape, and form, have goals, have ideals, all of them. And they know what they're doing is bad, it's wrong. They're putting their lives on the line, they're hurting people, they know it. But it has to be that way. That is their role within the story. Even if they wanted to go in any other direction, ignore the Varia predetermined timeline, yada yada yada, ignore that for a moment. Even if they wanted to, they wear the mark of death. Look at the Deathwings, one mistake, game over. Grunts, if I make too many mistakes, game over. Same thing with the admins. Failed too many times. Madam X was just gonna like up and like kill Matalis for screwing around too many times. That's what they live by. If you make mistake after mistake after mistake, you're done. That's it. Game over. I'm not playing around. This has to be done in this way, shape, and form. And go back to the boat scene on the Doom timeline. Sorry, not deemed. Doom timeline. And when Madal is wrong, woman. When Madam X put down her sword and said, I know what I'm doing is wrong. We have to work together. I've brought pain and suffering to all sorts of people, yada yada, whatever she said. But we need to do this now. We have to work together. And that moment, she acknowledges, like, I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know what I'm doing is evil. I'm not apologizing for it. I don't feel bad for it. But I know what I'm doing is wrong. I get that. You have every right to hate me. That's fine. Hate me with all your guts. But it has to be this way. And we don't know the exact answer to why that is, but Madam X knows it. She knows the reason why it has to be that way. Whether it's because of the whole predetermined timeline thing, whether it's well, I would safely assume it has to be that, because again, she's used a time diamond, rewind some things to save us and whatnot. So something's up with that. There's a certain way that the story has to go, and she knows it has to go in that order. And if that order includes her being the main villain of the story, then so be it. It has to be that way in order for her to have an opportunity and a chance. Once the end goal arrives, once the end game is here, she can actually win. But going back to the whole Erin thing, with her attitude, her mindset, her her smarts, her lack of patience with Madam X and her, like, they're similar. I get it. And I'm not saying it couldn't be Erin. I just feel that it's too obvious. I just feel that there's something else that probably is Madam X. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I feel like I rambled on about a lot of nonsense for a while, but that's okay. We'll leave the spoilers at that. Okay, so we are out of spoiler territory. I just want to write this down here. I think we have one final little scene coming on here. So yeah. Let me save here. Know your worth, slave. You're nothing more than an object. That's not what Nimra said. She said I was her friend. Nimra lacks control. It's impossible to be friends with objects. Learn your place. Master, I beg. I should have guessed. You commit atrocities again and again to fulfill your disgusting desires. While you are in this world, no one is safe. Irina, how dare you disobey your father? You're not the real Vitus, but a figment of Kanon's truth. But even looking at you here fills me with a great amount of rage. Children that refuse to listen deserve nothing more than harsh punishment. Oh, and let me reiterate this to you, Vitus. You are not my father. Looks like we finally escaped. Kanon, are you okay? You're nothing short of a demon. Malia caused Angie to dissolve into a fit of rage, but that will be nothing compared to how she will react to you. You think I care what Angie thinks of me? Let alone anyone else? I've come too far to let some old hag judge me because she's deep within her own crooked mind. It's not surprising that you can't even begin to fathom the truth. Nothing can be more beneath me than a wretched devil, and a servant that refuses to learn its place. Don't you dare belittle Kanon. All you and Angie do is look down upon people. Let go of me this instant. What's wrong? I thought you liked being above people, but if you're having a change of heart, then let me humble you. What would a witch like you know about servants' feelings? I've seen, no, felt Kanon's pain. We're one and the same, a victim of the same person. Kanon, stand up. You can't fall into this pit of despair. Erin, don't let anyone else determine your worth. Servant or not, you are being with emotion. What difference is there between us? We're all walking together on the path of paradise. Isn't that what Nimmer would have wanted for you? For all of us? Erin, you're right. I won't give in to Vitus here. I will stand up for myself. Remembering all that pain Vitus put me through centuries ago, I never want to experience something like that ever again. Servant or not, I wish to be happy as well. Disgusting. I will never understand. I refuse to acknowledge. Enough of this pointless drivel. Angie, I've seen enough. The endless back and forth between you all is beginning to bore me. You have the key to my throne room, do you not? Then let's settle this once and for all. As for you, what a shameful display. Tell me how you intend to keep serving me under my wing when you fail at every corner of every mission. Lady Angie, forgiveness comes in the form of actions, not words. Return to me and await our next trial. Yes, of course. They're gone. Angie practically asked us to get up there and kick her butt. We should go. Saving Alexandra and Damien is our top priority. Erin? What is a Kanon? Thank you. Thank you so much. You've seen past my past. You've accepted me for who I am. I've been struggling to see my worth for so long. Vitus made me believe that I was nothing more than a tool to be used. Even when I repressed my memory of him, the scars remained. I've been nothing but a nuisance, nothing more than weight pulling everyone down with me. It's okay, Kanon. We were no better for annihilating you. That only further implanted your insecurities and brought them to the surface. Kanon, I don't believe in fate. Conversely, however you say that, I believe this was meant to happen for the both of us. For us to work together, we need an understanding, a common goal. To suppose abominations I can't read today. Abused by the same evil. Let's work together this time as family. Family? We're not blood relatives, but we both were created by Vitus, and we've both been rejected by him. We're not of this world. Let's finally work together and end all of this. And then afterwards, Malia, Ren, Alan, Alita, everyone will live in an era of peace, and if that era is ever threatened, we defend it with our lives. What do you say, Kanon? Your wish is not my command, it is my choice to accept. I thought you were a servant, not a genie. I'm glad you're with me, Kanon. Let's end this. And I think that's a really good way to kind of like conclude that entire thing there. Because again, you go through, you know, the battle, the two purple and red laser things that, you know, Erin and Vitus like shot out of their pan or whatever. And Erin calls them out like, you're evil, you're disgusting, you're putrid, yada yada yada. You're not actually my father. You just wished me in this world and yada yada yada. You did this to Kanon and yada yada yada. I hate you. So yeah, and then seeing that scene afterwards of Kanon finally being like, you know, you're right. You're right, Erin. And then he finally accepts that he's not just a servant. He's a being, a living thing as well. He's not beneath anybody. He doesn't have to listen to the voices that have been instilled within him by Indred. That was centuries ago. I don't want to relive it anymore. It's time for something different. And the both of them are trying to understand that and go forth in the best way that they can. Not only for them, but for the region to be safe, and for the ones that they hold dear to them to be safe. I think with that being said and done, that'll be it for today's episode. Definitely a very lengthy one. I feel like I could have gone about this one a lot more better, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm still kind of just blah and sick, and with just some stuff kind of going on, my head feels like it's fragmented in a sense. It's weird, but yeah, anyways, I think that'll be it for today's episode. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Good morning.